G'day everybody, it's me again. Bit of an update for today. Waffling, bit of working. Quiet day, and part of maintenance on the trucks is to change the oil filters, the fuel filters. Obviously you change oil filters as well, but kind of like, sometimes you can get fuel filters blocked up with like this black sort of algae kind of bacteria, and if you don't change them often enough and keep an eye on them, they'll actually block up to the point where you start losing power. And obviously that's no good, because you lose power at the wrong time. It can be quite devastating, or you get stuck somewhere and it costs you a fortune to either get the truck towed home, or you can't figure it out on the side of the road and it's as simple as a fuel filter. It sucks. So anyway, I thought I'd rip these off, show you what the cartridges look like. This first one here isn't actually a fuel filter, it's a water separator. So we're going to take this off first, make sure there's no gunk or goo or the algae type stuff growing in there. It's kind of, yeah, that's got some shit in it, there's some water in there. So it's a good call, very good call that I've done this one, I have, because it was due. There's only a tiny bit of water in there, only a tiny bit of water, but there is a lot of other crap in there. A lot of other crap, like there's rust off the bottom of the tank. There's all sorts of nasty in there. All sorts of nasty. Yeah, that's real nasty. It's a good call that I've decided to do this now. Very good call. Well, that's actually got like mud in it. That's amazing. That's actually got like mud in it. That's the first filter. I have to have a look at that better once I get them all out, but that's just wrong. It's a very good call that I've done this. Very good. And I suppose if I hadn't have done it now, it probably wouldn't have got done for a while. And like I said, I may have ended up being stuck. I've got my bucket here to catch all the diesel as it fall out everywhere. And diesel running down my arm, getting me in the leg. Now this is the black muck that I'm talking about that the filters get full of. I'm not sure whether it's just particulates out of the fuel or what, but eventually that will block the filter altogether and the filter won't, well, it will stop flowing and won't get any fuel anymore, and then all of a sudden the truck doesn't want to go. But yeah, like I said, it's a very good call that I've decided to do this now. These are like probably beyond. I probably should have done them a few months ago, but better late than never, I hope. Also, being a diesel, the amount of fuel that can actually flow into the engine will determine how much power you make. So if you've got a restriction in your fuel inlet, you may be actually not making as much power. Ew. Ew. I don't know if this camera is picking that up right there, but see that? Ew. Slimy. Gross. Yuck. Yeah. This was overdue, boys. I think I've fucked up and neglected this a bit, maybe. Yeah, this was way overdue. I fucked up here. Should have done this ages ago. Anyway, I'll leave this one in one piece, so I've got a guide of how they go back together, even though I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. Don't want to fuck it up, and I'll change these out and then show you what the new filters look like, how they go together. Yeah, I'll clean it all up good. Well, that's what the filter that's in there now looks like. It's black, it feels heavy, it looks fucked. And that's what a new one looks like. Donaldson, nice and new. Comes with new O-rings, new seals, new everything. Now on this one there's actually a layer of full-on sediment, like mud, on the bottom of the cartridge canister here, and yeah, once again, yeah, I left this a bit too late. Could have been disaster if enough of that got through to the fuel pump, like a filter failed, got through to the injection pump, then that would have been a nasty, like a $5,000 pump rebuild sort of setup. So I think I'm going to be changing my diesel filters a bit more often from now on. Once again, don't know how easy that's going to be to see. Get the sun right. But it's full of mud. Absolutely full of mud. I'm interested to know how all of this mud got into the fuel, considering it's a nice sealed tank. There's no holes in it or anything. It's very interesting. Okay, so I'll try and show you how these filters go back together. Once you've cleaned out your canister, you get rid of all the crap out of the inside as best you can. Make sure there's no particulate sand or anything left in there. Clean it out. Cleanliness is very important. And even though, yeah, it was kind of really unclean before, there's no reason to not make sure it's clean now. New O-ring for the bottom seal goes on first. And then you can put the, I don't know what you call that, the outer casing, like so. You've got a spring, a washer, a seal, which we'll use a brand new one, of course our brand new filter, the element or cartridge, or I don't know what you call that, but call that a cartridge I'd say, and new seal on top. Now all three of those are now ready to be put back on. There's new O-rings for the top seal, and they go into the upper housing, of course, as you put it together. Oops, I've just contaminated myself there. We'll give that a bit of a clean, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like once it's all put back together. Well, it appears I'm going to have to do some investigation here, because this fuel, well, the fuel filters were absolutely full of like red dust mud. Now we don't go anywhere near up north. Maybe not so much red dust mud, but it's sort of a reddy brown mud. If someone can explain that, please do. Dad says it could be bacteria, but it doesn't. It just dissolves in water. It's just like dirt. Filters are back on now. Everything's nice and clean, nice and sealed up. Make sure everything's nice and tight, but not too tight, so it's not going to bust any seals or O-rings. Now, last step is under there. You can see it. Well, get a bit closer, break myself in half here, right there. That is the fuel pump, the manual lift pump. Now that there is used when you've changed the filters or you've let air into the system or otherwise. That there is used, might need to open a bleeder somewhere here, but that there is used to pump the fuel back up. So I'm going to have to pump the fuel back up, and then that's the job done. Actually, I've just noticed something. There's another filter. I'm going to have to change that too. It's on the bloody fuel filter right there. Right, well, I've got my work cut out for me, boys. I won't do any more video on this because it's already getting a bit long-winded. But, yeah, I've changed those two. So any crap that would have got through those would have ended up in there. And, yeah. And there's the bleed right on the top there is the bleeder. That's the one I've got to open up to that right there, that nut on top. If I crack that, I'll be able to see any air coming out of that banjo fitting. I'll basically be able to pump it until all the air gets out and you get solid fuel at that junction, and then be able to start the engine. All the air should be removed. Anyway, like I said, it's getting a bit long-winded. I thought I'll cut it off here, and thanks for watching.